Now they bring a receiver in motion right. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
And thus far in this NFL season, no touchdown scored for him, and he's not going to get it on that play either.
Now let's go.
1st and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. It's the fullback. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
All right, here we go. Zebra.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they like to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And, boy, the payoff was good.
So the D-line's going to spread out.
Zebra. Hey, we go rally. Oh, baby, alert. Alert. Here we go, baby, alert. Alert.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
3 yards to go on 2nd down.
We ready? Red 18.
Now Marshall coming in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they got to try something because right now they're just cutting him to shreds.
It's caught outright by Graham. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw, surveying the field. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's got time. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And Graham's got it over the middle. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints have taken the lead. And he puts it through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. And now back out comes the offense. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. They come out here in the eye. On 2nd down, here's Carr. He's got his man on the crossing route. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on 3rd down. Marshall, the lone receiver on the left side. Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good. But when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Here we go on 4th down with Carr. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring it.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
We ready? Ready.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And he finds a man on a crossing route. 23 yards on the play.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
That one goes for 24 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here we go. Wide and yes.
On 1st and 10, trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time, one-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, it doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Man, it wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he'll be grabbed from behind and slung down like a rag doll. So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. We're back to New Orleans after this. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And quickly, they get to the line.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran corner, D'Angelo Hall. So a big roughing the passer penalty, Charles, and of course that's 15 yards.
And everyone knows how protected the quarterbacks are. You've got to make sure that when you launch at a quarterback that you're hitting him in the right spot and in the right time.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
All right, here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They're going to hurry back to the line now. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
All right, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. That was close to a big play. And just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried. Just couldn't complete it.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Hurry up, here we go.
And the back goes into motion. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Trying to lay. This is caught inside the 15. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
And they pick up the first down on a 4th down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped him on.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
A big pickup there on the run. 37 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And they're going to speed things up here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
And now they're in the hurry-up. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers.
Here we go now.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he comes back with one complete. Call it a gain of 5. And just like that, it's third down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now back to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Here we go now. No. Check. Patriot.
And the wideout in motion. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it, eluding the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Under pressure, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a third and long. So here's third and 20, and with a long yardage, defense going with a nickel look.
Here we go. 53. Mike. What's the motion?
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And they'll get to this and down it inside the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Now a handoff here to his running back. Not much room here as he only... Gets it to about the 30. So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on fourth.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any...
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on third down plays. But when you go for it on fourth down, sometimes you're actually just praying. And on that play, the prayer was answered.
Marshall, the lone receiver on the left side. Now Carr, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. They'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On second down, here's Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receive.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And his guys are going to take the lead. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going.
And got his man complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And they'll go with a ground attack here. No gain on the play there, second down.
They were stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
He'll buy some time right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. So a big sack on second down. Now let's see what the offense has in store for third. Marshall, the lone receiver on the left side. Back now here live in New Orleans. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. Second down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on third? We'll see.
Here we go. Red 18. Red 18.
From the gun, it's Carr. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there on third down. 51 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt. And so far, it's working for both of them.
And that'll be incomplete. Try it again on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a knock.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And, Charles, you talk about a big kick under pressure in the fourth quarter. That wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was a long-distance kick.
Brandon, it shows you the faith that this coaching staff has in their kicker. You're right. If this goes wrong, you're going to give up the ball near midfield. But that was an absolute rainmaker, and it's going to give them a late lead.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Out of the gun now on third down. Finding time. He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Pernell McPhee in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, and it's second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Second and goal is still a decent chunk of yardage here. They're on the 8. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal. To throw, it's Carr. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Pernell McPhee in there on the stop.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And no, it's incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
We ready?
Carr to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. They bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball. You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away, and that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. And they're going to go soft on the corners.
Here we go.
So the D-line's going to spread out. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Hurry up, here we go. Detroit!
Back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense, but when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the 4th quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. In the slot on the right is Graham. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now this offense ready to take over again. They have the lead. Still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now. Just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape.
Yeah, the Saints signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Carr going to look to throw. Throws left side, complete to Brandon Marshall. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. He got 29 yards that time. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. Taking it right down Broadway. The 30. And we are tied. They return it to the house. And now Charles, the extra point, can give them the lead.
And they did it on defense. What a play.
It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And now back out comes the offense. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down as the defense looks for the stop. To throw, Carr. They'll roll him out right. He can run for it, and he will. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
All right, here we go.
Now Carr, got to have this one. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. This from Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. This from 51 yards for the win. It's on target, and it's good. From 51 yards out, he drills it. And they've come in here and stolen one on the road. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? Going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for our visitors, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll get the...
We'll show you just how we